On the WebWork difference quotient homework, problem number 4, we have a cubic function, 4x to the third plus x minus 22 is this example here. So let's go through it. Number 1 is the straightforward part, f of a. Again, wherever you see the input x, plug in a, so we get 4a to the third plus a minus 22. Number 2 is where things get a little bit more hairy. We are plugging in. We are switching the input to a plus h. So that becomes 4 times the binomial a plus h to the third power plus a plus h minus 22. Now, if you do have a coefficient in front of a over here, which starts out in front of x here, then that's going to have to be here and distributed later on. My example did not include that. Let's look at a plus h to the third power. A plus h to the third power, remember with binomials, you're not going to kind of distribute the third power into here. You're going to follow the rules of exponents, multiplying something by itself. So a plus h to the third power has to get expanded. What I did here first was expand a plus h to the second power through FOIL, or doubles distribution. Combine like terms, a plus ah is 2ah. So we get a squared plus 2ah plus h squared. And now a has to get distributed. Let's put in some of those loops so you can see. A is going to get distributed in here to that trinomial. So we get a to the third plus 2a squared h plus ah squared. Now what's going to happen again is distribution. This time h is going to get distributed into this trinomial. So we're going to get a squared h plus 2ah squared plus h to the third power. Combine like terms, a squared h plus a squared h is going to get 3a squared h, right? 2a squared h, sorry, plus a squared h. All right, we can underline in another color, ah squared plus 2ah squared is 3ah squared. And that is the expansion of a plus h to the third power. So remember that piece, this piece here, this large polynomial here, only replaces a plus h to the third power, right? There's still the rest of this function to contend with. So that's what we have here, right? We have this polynomial here. There's a 4 in front of it, plus a plus h minus 22. Another round of distribution is going to happen here. That's going to take place with this 4. So we get 4a to the third plus 2a squared h, 12, sorry, plus 12ah squared plus 4h to the third power. And over here, there's not real much distribution to be done because it's a plus, so that's plus a plus h minus 22. And this concludes part 2. Part 3 is where we do the subtraction of f of a plus h minus f of a. So we have over here, I'm going to circle it, f of a plus h, that whole big thing, minus f of a, which again is going to need distribution. So that's going to be this whole big thing repeated, minus 4a to the third minus a plus 22. Now when we combine like terms, we're going to see a bunch of stuff zero out, including 4a to the third power minus 4a to the third power plus a minus 22 plus 22. So that gives us 12a squared h left plus 12ah squared plus 4h to the third plus h. And that is the numerator of the difference quotient, which is the subtraction part. Now when we combine the whole thing together, the difference quotient is going to have a h divided by h, right? I have a little mistake. I don't know why this is here. This should not be here. this should be a plus h, right? Because all we are doing here is dividing 12ah squared plus 12a squared h, I'm sorry about that, plus 12ah squared plus 4h to the third plus h over here, divided by h. That means we can factor out h to get h, parentheses 12a squared plus 12ah plus 4h squared plus 1, divided by h, and the h's cancel out. Let's cancel those out. And then we have our answer, 12a squared plus 12ah plus 4h squared plus 1. And that concludes number 4 from WebWorks.